Good morning, everybody. This is like the evening for me now. It's like 8:30 in the morning. Been up for 6 hours. A little allergy post-nasal drip cough kind of woke me up and I was wide awake. A half hour later, Kaya woke up, wide awake. She did go back to sleep for a little bit, but she's drained this morning. And she's always had this thing. So I got up and got on the computer, work on these startups I'm going to try to do. I'm trying to do these at-home things basically for this reason. For when sleep is disrupted, I'd have a whole work day done already. And the rest of the day to nap and do other stuff. But anyways, since Kaya was a little tiny thing, little peanut baby, her thing with me, there's always a thing connected with the kids for some reason with sleep. And if I woke up in the middle of the night early, I was writing books back then. And if I got on that computer, she'd wake up. Didn't matter what time of day it was. It could be 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, it didn't matter. Once I turned on that computer and started dilly-dallying for about 10 minutes or whatever, she'd wake up. I think that happened this morning too. Hasn't happened in a while, but Isaiah, my little buddy, he's a little different. He would, his weird sync with me was the minute I'd fall asleep, he'd wake up. Now that's annoying. That was part of my couple years of torture when he wasn't sleeping well. It didn't matter if it was nap time or what. If I fell asleep at 10:30 at night, bam, he'd wake up. After I got him back to sleep and trying to get back to sleep myself, which takes me a while. The second I fall asleep, bam, he'd wake up again. Nap time the next day, trying to make up for all the missed sleep. He'd fall asleep. I'd eventually fall asleep. Bam, he'd wake up. It was horrible. So most of my day is gone, and I did get a lot of work done in the middle of the night here, and just gonna exercise and I think try to crash for a little bit. I got a little job to go do. Just gotta go find a special door, and I think I'm gonna go to a meeting tonight. This is a different kind of meeting. It's kind of like 12-step, but it's more Christ-based. I'll get into that more later. So let's keep on moving on. So yeah, another just quick little comment here about my pedestrian traffic gripes. So I was just at the gas station when I left off. Came out of the gas station, walking towards the pumps, and approaching in a car a big old Buick. This old timer's creeping to go to the pump right behind mine, and this average Joe comes walking, cuts right in front of his car. He was already going slow, and the dude had to just. And this isn't some punk kid or some person on their phone, just someone who just gives zero shits. It's that whole pedestrian has the right of way thing has to change, because. And like I said, I'm really shooting for this at-home work stuff that I'm working on, because it's just a liability. Like I said, at this time, it's just a liability. Even yesterday, I was driving to the store, getting off the off-ramp. It splits both ways. You can turn, and I'm chilling at the stoplight, and I hear look over to the other side turn lane, and work truck, probably been driving around all day. Thought the guy in front of him was going to go, and the guy in front of him didn't go, or he was just not paying attention and rear-ended him. And like I said, after my last accident, it's not even worth it anymore, man. And even to get this nice new used van I got, that took a month to find it and get it all going. Whatever, dude. I might work on my at-home stuff again today. And pretty soon we're going to do some other little projects here. I got some stuff. I got some outside lights and whatever we can quick do and whatever. But yeah, crazy out there. Drive defensive. I used to be pretty aggressive not even that long ago. I was slowly getting defensive driving. My wife and stuff is pretty defensive, and now I just go slow. It's not even worth it. It's just not. Alright, just going to measure a door. My real estate guy wants a fun door for this clubhouse he brought back from the farm he grew up on. His family's from a farm. So we got it hauled all the way up here. But it needs a new door, and he wants something kind of fun. It's kind of different, so I'm going to go measure that. I'm going to go to this weird store where they have that kind of stuff and see if I can hunt one down. Which reminds me, I should probably take note of the time. It's about 10. Finder's fee and all that. So yeah, a bunch of weird stuff already happening. I got a text from the wife. Apparently at her job, the job I'm trying to get her to quit. HR just sent out an email telling her boss that he's got to crunch down on time off. Almost all of her time off is pretty much scheduled and approved, except for when the kids get sick. And guess you can't be home when kids get sick. Kids get sick all the time. So that's just pushing me more towards what I'm doing, which is working out fine. I'm getting it all set up. I'm coming up with different ideas. I probably got like 3 different hustles going at once here. And we'll just pray on that. I know they take a little time to get going. I had to take a little personal loan out for a little startup cushion. I don't really need supplies or anything or equipment. As you can see, even like with this, if there's like this is all free stuff. It's just my phone. If it gets popular and I put a little link to donate if you want me to keep going, then so be it. Free also, you know what I mean? So that got approved, so I'm going to go measure this door, go hit up the bank and sign a paper and go find this door, probably take a nap and then go to the gym. And God will provide, and these are, to me, they're all kind of little signs. And it's tough, like I'm going to keep repeating it, for someone who's been recovered from addiction for years and years. Life can creep up on you. Ask, just go to a meeting and ask someone. They'll tell you. You can think you have it in lock, and you just get in your grooves, and you almost forget yourself that you have the propensity for an addiction. That's why at these meetings, they keep on saying, I'm an alcoholic, because you forget. You literally forget, especially if it's been a long time. You're just doing your thing, right? But the world constantly pulls on you. It's up to you to keep in contact with your friends and your friend in God. But the world is relentless at pulling at you, trying to sway you the other way. And yeah, it was, and I don't know if I said this in another video, but I just explained it to my wife. That little fender bender I was just talking about, at that point, for some reason or another, I don't know why, but it was at that point I kind of did a rewind, and all the stuff that I've been going through in the last year to 5 years, I've been, handling it like a champ, but I've been pulling all the weight. And you gotta even recover from life once in a while. Let's just put it that way, or it'll make you sick. My weak link is alcoholism. People get sick in many different ways, and not to mention even things like cancer and stuff. The studies have proven that that's more linked to your emotional state, your consistent and chronic emotional states, than it is smoking or anything else. You know what I mean? So self-care is huge. It's so easy though, because it's just, and it all aligned with kind of what my pastor was talking the day that I had my nightmare about the world pulling you. It's easy to just go run down that money, especially when your money gets funny. And I just feel like I've been running on empty for 6 months, you know what I'm saying? But still chugging along. And I need some renewal. And I've always been one to have to shift things around, man. I just never been one of the people that can, I mean, call it what you want, but never been one of the people that can stick to one thing for years. You know, people like have the same job for 20 years. Not this cat. I can't do it. And my main priority, especially with kids and family now, should be my health. The bills will figure themselves out. We're not late on anything or nothing like that, so it's whatever. It's just, it sucks when you got people owing you money and all this other stuff, and it's just not stacking together right. It makes you a little anxious. But it'll all work out. We're almost there. So anyways, more traffic ranting. So I just exited onto the freeway here, but near where I was, there's a triple roundabout. So there used to be one bridge, now there's 3. And instead of stoplights, they decided to throw 3 roundabouts back to back. And that's not all. Wait, there's more. It's a pretty busy street that they're on, and it's over the bridge that goes over the freeway. And the exits off of these roundabouts go against the natural way. So like, let's say you want to go west, and west is that way. Well, with these exits, and a lot of them these days when they're rebuilding all this stuff, the exit is the opposite way that you want to go, and then it winds you all through this whole spaghetti junction thing. They couldn't just, whoop. No, they want to make you go like that. It's so like, I've been driving it for a while, and I'm still like, what in the... It's just so weird. But anyways, I wanted to cap off what I was talking about earlier about redlining, sobriety levels, and blah, blah, blah. So my moral of the story, my conclusion is like the little fender bender I was just talking about made me rewind the tape a little bit and see how much I've been redlining it. And in turn, showed me my future if I got everything I wanted. Successful, laborious business, in construction, pretty much. I would have tilted it past the threshold. Not that I'm gonna stop. I'm finding alternative means of income. Different revenue streams, basically, which is what you should be doing anyways. Don't just rely on a wage. And like some would say, means to an end. Work your ass off, start buying your own houses, flipping them, whatever. Thing is I watch these people do it, and they're more stressed out than anything. So gotta keep the balance, man. May the force be with you. Oh, I'm feeling it now. The adrenaline's wearing off from all that coffee. That's what coffee does. It releases a hormone, hits your kidneys, adrenaline goes. That's where you get your energy from. Releases a bunch of stored glucose. Basically puts you in a fight or flight response. So any of you guys, I don't know if I've said this before, I'll probably repeat myself a million times on these things. Anybody suffering from anxiety, when you drink coffee, you put yourself right into fight or flight, right into scared mode, just from the cup of coffee alone. Just saying. So I went to this cool store looking for this door. It's called Reuse, like reusing. It's a Habitat for Humanity. Kind of people just donate old building supplies and everything. It's got everything, furniture. It's a pretty cool little place, actually. I was hoping to find that tile I've been looking for, that match. Had the same design, but not the right color. Anyways, and then I tried, he wants a fun door for this clubhouse for his kids. And they didn't have any fun doors, but I'm like, just buy one of these white doors and stencil and paint it or something. Have the kids paint it. So I'll have to run that by him in a minute. Otherwise, I did go to the burnt house. They had a door sitting out by the dumpster. That was too big. Yeah, I'm about ready to crash here in a minute. I'm going to eat. Probably talk to the wife on her lunch break here and crash for a couple hours and then go to the gym, start training. And if I have a minute, I will probably, or while I train, I kind of jibber jabber with God. Or I might do it officially on my knees. I might even just do it before I take a nap here, so my brain doesn't spin too much. Calms you down. Here's another hack for you. If you do ever have trouble falling asleep, just go ahead and read the Bible. And it's not because it's so boring, really. The Bible's actually really interesting, to me at least. But there's just something relaxing about it. And when your brain does get tired of trying to decipher the cryptic codes in there, yeah, you'll just knock right out. I remember before I was even a believer, I would threaten myself with it. I'd be like, all right, if you're not falling asleep, we're going to read the Bible. And then I'd fall right asleep. Good morning, number 2 of the day. I just took a pretty killer nap. I was just going to drop dead for about 2 hours, but it ended up being just a hair more. I woke up at 2 hours and it's like, no. Even right before I went to sleep, I got a phone call. So right now we're just cooking some skitties for the fam. Jaja put the skitty noodles and meatballs out. And in the fridge here, this is the fridge we got when we got the house. Right? And I'm not going to go buy another $1,500 fridge or whatever it is. They're not cheap. I know a place to get them cheaper, but still. So this thing, I cleaned it out initially when I was demoing the house for the contractors, but I didn't clean it out too good. I didn't have cleaning stuff with me. I just wiped it with a towel. Then I had to put it in the garage. I forgot about it for 3 months. So me and poor Angel detailed this fridge, got every little molecule of mold out of there. Thank God Angel's OCD when it comes to cleanliness. And then it starts dripping down there and running forward. Not cool. So first thing I checked and thought it was the gasket. And underneath, yes, it was indeed all jacked up. So I order a new gasket, get the wrong gasket, send that gasket back, order another gasket. I think I did it like 3 times. Finally get the gasket on, and there's a trick to it if you're going to do gaskets yourself that I had to learn. I didn't know it. The guy that I was ordering it from told me. You have to like take a little heat gun action to the rubber gasket to get it to expand. They come all super compressed and stuff. So there was that. But it was still dripping, and plus we had the problem that nobody was closing it all the way. recently it started dripping more and more. Same spot. Like, what the hell is going on? Finally got a little time and wrap my head around what it could possibly be. And I love YouTube and stuff. I found a nice little hack, and I didn't even research it enough. I just saw the picture and I kind of knew. But in the back, you pull that sucker out, you put some cardboard down so you don't gouge up your floor, pull it out, take off the little cardboard panel on the bottom, and on this model on the left there's this little rubber nipple boot just right in there, and that's where the condensation drip comes down. And sometimes they get clogged or stuck together or frozen, and then the condensation overflows out and drips down onto your floor. So I did it, took the back off, ripped that little nipple off because it comes right off, and just cleaned it out, and it was stuck together. Put it back in, and it hasn't leaked since. Been a couple days. Win. It's definitely a win because this fridge is under warranty still. And then when Jaja called on it, they're like, well, you have to pay your membership fee, which is like $150, and then you still got to pay the tech to come out there, and that's before they even figure it out, which they would have probably caught the gasket, and that part alone was $200, and then they got to come back out again. I'm sure you got to pay something for that, and then they got to fix it. I'm sure you got to pay a little bit of fee for that. You might as well get a new fridge. So it was really just the gasket and that easy little nipple. That's why I do what I do. It's either get a new fridge and spend $1,000 or so, get the guy to come out and spend a couple $500 or so, or just figure it out. So I'm off to a meeting. It's not an AA meeting. It's a offshoot of the 12-step, though, more Christ-based, which is it is what it is because the 12 steps is Christ-based. They just had to kind of take God out of the equation, at least that word, because for some reason or another, most addicts have lost faith in God, which that alone should speak volumes. When you lose faith, you're getting worse and worse, life's getting worse and worse. What's the resolution? What's the solution, I should say? You know what I mean? It's just like when I was talking about the craving stuff in the other episode. The drug replaced something, and when you quit using the drug, you crave. But you're not craving the drug, you're craving what the drug replaced. What is it? How about the solution would be give it that? Same with God. All the physiological stuff I talk about is just to get you either to be in less of a fearful physiological state so you can hang out with God, or to keep your relationship with God by keeping you out of a fearful physiological state. Because most people actually find God in the pit of hell when they're trying to climb out. And that's the hand that reaches down. You know what I mean? They can't do it on their own. But yeah, so we're going to this one. It's been a while. I'm not a meeting guy. If you can't tell yet, if you've been watching, I'm not consistent on a lot of things. But it was by the book. I did do my 12 steps. Well, a few times, but the last time that I did them, and it stuck, and I stayed sober, it was really interesting. My sponsor, you need to have a sponsor. Do not do them on your own. That's just retarded. Then you just create your own program. And that doesn't work. And that's where a lot of treatments are going right now. Hey, there's many ways to do it. No, there's not. There's only one way to do it. how you get there, there's many ways, but there's only one way to do it. But doing your own programs and all that stuff, it's retarded. I did it for years and years, and I'm a pretty smart dude. But in the end, there is only one way. There's ways to get there. But anyways, where was it? Yeah, so, I mean, even according to the big book, the program isn't that you go there the rest of your life. That is a misnomer. You don't have to go to meetings the rest of your life. You take a few months, you find a good sponsor, take a few months and bang out the steps as directed by the book. People seem to like want to do these miraculous things but not follow the instructions. Same with the Bible. Just want to do it all your own way. Cherry pick what you think is whatever. I do it too, but I mean, at least I feel like I try harder than most. Hold on, I gotta go get something here. I'll be right back. So, interesting point just came up when I was in the store there. Dude's checking me out. And it was a smoke shop. I was getting an e-cig. And, dude was like, stay safe. Don't stay out of trouble. I'm like, oh, I'm going to a meeting. I'll be getting in trouble. Something like that. And he's like, let's probably just fall asleep or something. Because obviously he wasn't sober. He was total whatever. You could just see it. And generally people working in smoke shops aren't sober. But I'm like, this is a great point for anybody looking for meetings or just whatever, interested. So here's the thing. There is this stigma that sobriety is boring. Now, it's not as uninhibited as going out to the bars and these crazy parties where there's just sex and titties and drugs and all that stuff. But the thing is it's in our DNA. Actually, a lot of these meetings, or like when you go out to fellowship afterwards, or even just events, they can get pretty rowdy. It's just, we need it. There's a party inside of addicts. And that's part of the point of these groups. Because while normal people can't really get rowdy without alcohol or drugs, addicts can. If you get us in a room sober, we still party. We still get rowdy. I don't know how many... God, there's a couple of examples I just want to get into because I don't want anybody to think that sobriety is fun. We have to make it fun or we would never do it. You know what I mean? This is something I strayed away from. Just busy working and family and just the grind. Was my herd, my sober herd. Not that I was around a lot of drinking or anything, but there's just something to it. When you get us, we're built different. We're just built different, but when we get a group of us together in a room, we will get rowdy, sober or not. So, and I remember there was one that I used to go to a long time ago up by my mom's house, and we'd go to this Italian restaurant. Very popular, well-established Italian local restaurant. We go there every Sunday night, and they knew we were coming, and they knew that we were coming thick. We were coming deep with like 12, 14 people. Every Sunday, and they'd have the tables all put together for us, and we would take that thing over. The funny thing about that is I remember when I was young, I worked there as a cook in the back. I'd be working Sunday night, and I'd hear these people from the same group, this is way years earlier, getting just crazy. I'm like, we don't serve alcohol here. What's up with these guys? It's like 9 o'clock at night. It's not bar closed. Are they pre-gaming or something? And the other cook's like, no, those are the AA guys. You see what I'm saying? There was this other one we'd go to, kind of near where we are now, Maplewood, Alano, and we would go for lunch. There was a Taco Tuesday lunch thing where you got like really cheap tacos, like all you could eat, and we would go there like 10 deep, and this is at a bar. Of course, at like lunchtime, there's nobody in there but a couple of booze hounds at the bar. But we'd go to a bar to eat tacos, and of course nobody's even thinking about drinking. We're getting our Mountain Dews and our water, and yeah, we would just tear it up, all crazy rowdy, rah 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 rah, just laughing, just so it can be fun. And I feel like I might need to get back into all that. But back to my original point, it is by the book in the outline. You do your 12 steps, and you continue to do the last couple of steps, one of which is service work. Excuse me. And it doesn't have to be at the club. I do plenty of service work. I do those 2 steps, but I'm missing the obsession part. Remember a couple episodes ago? The obsession. The herd. I miss the herd. I miss what I'm talking about now. And then even when you meet up with the herd, you do go through your traditions, you know, your normal sequence of things, readings, and all that stuff, which is all healthy. You know what I mean? And it keeps you balanced and focused on your health. You know, and sobriety is a result of good health. The main goal isn't like don't drink. It's be healthy so you don't need to drink. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of got off the path, man. It's not hard. And I don't want to be one of them people who freaking goes years and years and years thinking you got it, thinking you're. I don't know, I never thought I was too good for the program. It's one of the few health things that I actually respect. But and then just fall off, because it can happen so quick. I don't want it to happen again, because I did it too many times back in the day. This is not even worth it. Who needs more problems? Because that's all that it does. You have one fun night, you might get lucky and stave it off for a while, and then it'll be back to the races soon enough. And then you got some big problems. So, yeah. Well, this group is just starting up. It is kind of a different take on it. I've gone to it a couple of times, and I meant to like be one of the people present to get it like up and going, but God, life has just been smacking me around left and right. And the kids aren't easy after long days. Sometimes I'm just protecting my wife from having too big of a load, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta stay and help do this or whatever. And excuses, right? So that's where I'm at with that. Getting back into it, and here's some hoodoo stuff, and I've been talking about it, but these are God's little nudges. I had that one sermon about the world pulling you. I had the nightmare afterwards that just kind of changed my whole neurology, and like it really threw me through a loop. And then I thought I had a full week's worth of work. Apparently not. All this weird stuff happened that freed up this time. So I'm taking the opportunity to get back into my health regimens and start up some side hustles, just in case, because the nature of the beast of my work, contracting work, I don't do much contracting, I do handyman work. I'm getting into contracting. It ebbs and flows, man. It's feast or famine. And it's very, very unpredictable. So you got to be really resilient and balanced to do that kind of stuff. And there's even nudges with that. So I've been studying for my residential remodeler test. And then, like I said, I just told you in another episode that the contractor that built the remodel that we're living in now, he took a bid way too low just to get it. I'm like, and then he did all the work kind of crap because he took it low, but now he's trying to get more money out of Jaja. Just randomly sent her an invoice for 10 grand. She's already paid the initial contract in full. I think 5,000 over, because she had him doing a couple little side things or whatever. But she certainly doesn't want to pay me to do anything, but she'd rather pay a total stranger. But whatever. That's just family stuff. With me, it's supposed to be free. Whatever. And she knew I wasn't going to do it for free. And I'm like, I've learned about what liens are when a contractor can put a lien on your home and when they cannot. And I got to basically use that information and put her at ease a little bit. Because she's like, I'll just ignore it. But I know her anxiety levels are through the roof all the time. So these things build up in the back of her head. And I'm like, you don't need to worry, Margaret. You have the receipts for your payments. You paid the written and signed contract in full. Anything that's happened outside of that contract without a change of work order, like another contract that's agreed upon and signed, anything outside of that, anything verbal, it does not matter. He can write as many invoices as he wants. Tell him to go screw himself. In fact, she should take him to court and get half of her money back, but she won't do that. So it's just those little things that would have been a real blurry area before, but now I know. And I mean, and I'm pretty good at all that stuff, so, you know, do what you're good at. But I still need plan Bs. I still need other streams of income. And it'll all work out, but the main thing was, and I'm just ranting here, sorry guys. But the main thing just was, I got nudged real hard by God. Or call him the universe or whatever if you want to. The signs are all there and they happen quick. And I know, I've even been saying it to the wife that I've been neglecting some areas of my wellness. You know, she's been nudging me because she needs me healthy and strong, man. You know? And it just, God's like, all right, we're going to make some room. Do your shit. Don't worry about the money. Because I could be running around right now looking for other jobs, since the ones that I had lined up this week all fell through randomly. But they'll come. I'll be more busy than I want to be before you know it. But right now I need to relax and take care of myself and get back into some things. So instead of doing something like, oh, my men's conference camping trip thing is in a week, I'll just do it all then. No, I'll start it now. I'll start it now, and when I do go to the camping thing, I'll be set to go deeper. I'll be ready for resetting my whole soul, everything kind of a deal. You know what I mean? Instead of just going in there for a couple days and expecting miracles to happen, I'm going to do the prep work, as it were. Anyways, you guys have a good night. Sorry, it's a little darker now. Just got out of the meeting, and that meeting was the bomb. And it was a small meeting. I haven't been there in a while. I wanted to be part of its growth. I just got caught up. And it got a little bigger for a while, but now it was just 3 of us. And there's different meetings will have a different feel. Like, not all meetings are the same for sure. But sometimes I like the small meetings. It got so deep. It was like 20 therapy sessions wrapped into one. And it's hard to get that at the bigger meetings, the bigger, rowdier ones. They're fun, and you do need the fun, like I said. And this was fun for me, and it's just a lot more. It was really needed, and getting to be good friends with the guy who runs it and stuff too. And sometimes you just end up in meetings that you didn't even intend to also. Like, you're like, oh, I want to go to a fun meeting. But you don't get that, but you end up getting, like, what you needed. And I didn't intend to go to a big, raging, fun meeting at this one. I'm just saying, sobriety and these circles, this herd, this sober herd, can be exciting and fun. But yeah, this one was just, it was just deep. And we just talked so much. It was an hour and a half of just us three jibber jabbering, and we went through our formalities and stuff, but we were talking about life, our life. I personally, especially my personality type, I can't stand the superficial conversations. I mean, I do them, but I need deep connection with people, and men too. I talk to my wife all the time. I can talk kind of deep with her when she's not on her phone, but I can't talk to her about dude stuff. And just roles is difficult for me. I was trying to bust out of my kind of half-ish at-home dad role, and I just kind of got shoved back into it. And I'm like, no, I want to be a contractor and make the money. But you got to know your limitations too. And I think God was nudging me back, like, because it's not just the stress of work I deal with. If it was just work, if I was single, living in an apartment by myself, and doing this job, that's one thing. But when you're running a household with a wife, 2 kids, and a Jaja, like, that's a whole nother mess. You know what I mean? Not to mention other family members. We're pretty tight with the family, as crazy as they are. And even there, I'm trying to help wherever I can, and da-da-da. So, you got to be able to connect to other people. And we were all 3 of us are on the same page. We're all 3 different ages, all 3 different generations, 3 different backgrounds, the whole 9 yards. But we were all on the same page. You know what I mean? It's just amazing. And like I said, when you get believers talking, and you get Jesus in the conversation too, not sitting there talking about Jesus, just talking about the way things are and the truth. It's just amazing. And this is obviously what I needed. This is what I was getting nudged back to. Just the whole getting back to wellness and all 4 pillars of my health. You have 4 main pillars of health, all right? You got your biological stuff. You got your psychological stuff. You got your social stuff and your spiritual stuff. You got to tend to all of them, because it's like a wheel. And if they're not, if one of them quadrants is short, if you imagine a wheel like a pie chart, and one of those areas is running short, or the other one is way too long for the rest of them, that wheel starts to wobble real hard, and you go off the road. You know what I'm saying? So that's what was happening with my wheel. And I'm just really happy to get back into everything. I'm happy God dropped all my jobs for this week and allowed me the opening to venture new entrepreneurship and get back to my health stuff, man, because that's kind of what I run on. So, amen.